And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition here of the Platinum StarCraft 2 League, August 2025. I'm AqueroN VIP with you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos here to a monthly tournament to the Platinum StarCraft 2 League. And this is a tournament that is organized and funded by those working behind the scenes at the Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports as well. They've been running this event for a couple of months at this point. It is their new 2025 initiative here to run this consistent tournament and have an end of year finale, an end of year kind of championship, if you will, bringing together all the top players that have competed in the monthly tournaments. Let's go. We're now jumping in for the month of August. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked. Also, very quickly before we jump into our series, if you're in the chat, Matcherino, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat as well, as you will get a link to the Matcherino page, as of course there is a Matcherino for this tournament, so you can help boost the prize pool if you wish with that coupon code. Hold on, I got you. Bam. Here we go. So we're getting into our next game, and we're getting into our first series. And spawning in the bottom head corner of Tokamak, we have the green Terran player, the Spanish Terran. It is AqueroN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is a triple. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of three. Likewise, a big shout to Captain Fish in the chat. Este Fish. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to the community. To Burrito Baron, even. To Mute City, to Senor Law Clerk, to Null ATDT, and to Agus Evie. Thank you. Do appreciate the support as always. Hold on, I'll set up the players, and then we'll be good to go. God, that yellow is so bright. Jeez, it's even brighter. Oh god, I can't read. Hold on, I'll do a darker tone. There we go, a little bit darker. But here we go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 3, and welcome one and all. Sorry, I should say welcome back, AqueroN. Este AqueroN. It has been months since we've casted AqueroN. For those that remember, AqueroN, he retired last year. I think it was last year, December was the last time he really competed in a tournament. And he made his return during the HSL, the Hispanic StarCraft League. That was back in April. Around April-ish of the year, so it's been quite some time. The HSL, of course, was the Hispanic StarCraft League. That is where we had players from Spain and Latino America facing off, and AqueroN was invited. And when he was invited, he was actually playing Protoss. He was actually playing Protoss in the group stage of the HSL. He spoke about his retirement. He spoke about how he stepped away from the game, how he was playing a little bit more for fun nowadays and focusing on his studies, focusing on the next stage of his life, next stage of his career. But despite that, a couple months later, he's back. He's here. He's back once again, and we'll see what kind of shape he's in. I mean, again, I'm a big fan of AqueroN, but I'm also aware that he is out of shape. He's out of practice, and don't really know what to expect from him. Like, if AqueroN was in form, I would say he was favored. 100%. AqueroN, he'd be favored against Triple. But now, in a time when AqueroN is no longer actively laddering as consistently as he used to, how does he compare to Triple? This time, it's going to be harder to say. Is going to be hard to say, but here we go. For the time being, we are going for our initial openers here. We have our starport on the way, 1-1-1 follow-up. No crazy extra Raxes, no crazy 2-1-1 or anything of the sort. AqueroN does dip in. Want to show that I'm still alive? Yes, I haven't seen you in a while, Captain Fish, in our tournaments. It's been a while. I know you've been busy, of course, busy with some IRL commitments, but good to see you nonetheless. As the Reaper does go down, does get a full scout, does get eyes on the Twilight Council. It is going to be a standard opener here out of Triple, going for a Twilight Council into Blink into his own gateway setup. Meanwhile, AqueroN back at home. Likewise, no tech labs yet. Interesting. Going for the initial Widowmine drop. So Widowmine drop followed by delayed tech labs. There we go. Tech labs now going to be on the way. With this, we can start working towards tank production, or even go for an add-on swap into earlier stim, or even into Banshee play. Now the Widowmines are set. Hallucination comes in. Triply attempts a scout, and the scout is going to be denied. Scout is denied. The drop is coming. I mean, there's nothing really to hide for the time being. We do have early tank production, though. Hello. you have my attention. Very early tank production here from AqueroN. Mine Drop is moving out across the map. We'll keep an eye on the next add-on here as we have a tech lab on the starport. We'll see if we intend to swap here for stim or if we intend to keep it on the starport. Oh, the plan is to keep it. Okay. Hope that I can play next time. No guarantee. Oh no. As a heads up, before there is next time, make sure you have your ladder games as well. It's a PSA for our amateur tournaments for Diamond and Masters players is if you do plan on competing, make sure that you're able to ladder, of course, beforehand. But I look forward to it. As the Mind Drop does come in. For sure. Mind Drop comes in, so are getting one probe, denying a lot of mining time. Second Widow Mine is going to be preserved as we do pick up. We actually save the mines. Not bad here from AqueroN. Does pick up, does pull away. Does pull away. Likers behind the stim has begun. Getting to stim production. It was a Raven, not a Banshee. So it did open Raven. And Wither's just going for the add-on swap, so no Banshee play whatsoever, but we're building up a really fast, really early tank count. We have a third tank in production, and we'll see if we go up to a fourth. It's a lot of tanks. Likewise, I believe 3 gate? No, 4. Oh, 4 gate Blink Stalker. My apologies, I did miss that 4th gateway. So 4 gate Blink, a hyper aggression here out of our Protoss player. Triple is going into the main base, and we'll see if AqueroN can defend. He is heavily fortified here at the natural, but what about the main? What about the main bases? Here come the Stalkers. Here comes the 4 gate. Yeah, Blinks into the main base. Tank getting caught on siege. Oh, no. Nice force on the ramp. AqueroN is getting caught out. He's getting caught out here. He's out of position. Tank does survive, does pull back, but the production is under fire. From here, he can get behind the mineral line. Where are we headed? Where are we going? Oh, the Raven. Raven goes down. Raven goes down. That's a kill on the starport as well. And AqueroN, he is struggling. He's trying to hold on. Tanks are slowly pushing forward. Boys are being pulled. We have the warp in. The warp in is going to be denied. Nice time for the prism, but there are still so many Stalkers. And he's killing all the workers. Here we have 22 SCV kills. 22 workers going down. Behind this, the mine shots have been popping off. True. Widow mines have been popping off. Probes have been going down. How about the Stalkers? They can hold their own against the bio. And soon they could even just die from the tanks. There's the recall. Does recall back home. In the end, 12 probes went down to the Widow mines. But last that was 23 SCVs and a kill in the starport. So no medevacs. We had to rebuild the starport here on the low ground. So zero medevacs currently here for AqueroN. And he's stuck at home. He's stuck at home at least until the upgrades finish. He's waiting for +1, waiting for combat shields, waiting for medevacs. And then the choice might be to just go for an all-in, to pull the boys. At this point, after losing 22 SCVs, he's just taken too much damage to recover economically. To get a third base and try to macro out of this, it's just too much damage. Especially with Triple already having a third base. I mean, AqueroN, he has a very high tank count, true. He's got 5 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. If he can siege up within range of a base, like, he can force a fight, he can trade well. Likewise, it's going to be on Triple here to get an eye on the move-outs. If there is going to be an all-in, he has to be there to slow it down or to counterattack and to cripple the all-in even further. I'm a little bit concerned with how, oh god, a bit of a miss rally. Hopefully he notices in time. There we go. It does notice, does pull away. But I'm concerned with how passive or how far back the Stalkers are being kept. They're being kept defensively back at home, when really they should be out here. They should be out here. If there ever is a move out, they can get a couple shots off, they can blink back and just rinse and repeat. But for the time being, keeping everything at home. Here comes AqueroN, going for his double drop. Did lose those Stalkers. If you recall, they were recalled. These are the same Stalkers. He left 2 behind, so 2 Stalkers were left behind, but the rest were recalled. So AqueroN's moving in. Hallucination does spot the move out. Triple, he knows, and again, he should be a little bit more proactive here. He should be being more proactive. which means that AqueroN, he might be able to sneak up with this army, and he might be able to siege up within range. Uh-oh. Again, as a Protoss player, you want to be engaging ahead of time and catching the army on siege or forcing early sieges as well. Army gets spotted. Triple coming in from behind. At least trying to. Tanks are sieged up. Matchup going up. See AqueroN gaining ground. Sieging up those tanks. He does siege up. Two of them getting caught out though. And nice catch on two of them. Two tanks go down, and then has to get three more, and he will. Yeah, he will. He'll just collapse on the army. The tanks are exposed. There's one tank remaining. Oh, nice stim. Nice stim with the bio. Takes down two of those immortals. No, the shield battery's a little bit too far back on the right hand side. And Triple, can he hold on at the same time? He is harassing across the map. Drops off those zealots. Racing back here with the war prism. The base is getting low. Looks like Liberators should be getting picked up. Where are the Zealots though? Yeah, no Zealots. AqueroN, he breaks on through. The boys are now being fooled, but it's too late. It's too late. The Stalkers have already gone down. And AqueroN, he's done it. He has done it. This base, it doesn't really come into play. The harassing damage across the map does not matter. And again, Triple, he was just so passive with his army. He was so passive when it came to approaching this, so cavalier with his approach to the fight. And Triple gets shut down. He gets shut down. Zealots is still getting damage done, but honestly, AqueroN, he can just keep going. He can just push into the natural, to be honest. We can send it, Pappy. We can send it. Keep going. He's settling for the fourth, which is secure damage. Here's his scan. Size of the main army. AqueroN loading up, going for a Doom Drop even instead. I mean, hey, this army is very immobile. Barely any stalkers. Drops into the main, going for the production. And he does siege. He does siege up. His tanks, his liberators. Mine shots going off. Ooh, had some connections on the zealots. Nice target firing on the AqueroN as well. And from here, he can just stand and fight. Yeah, he can just stand and fight. He stims on forward. Down to two stalkers. Two stalkers left. And they're just gonna be chased down. They're just gonna be chased down from here. Again, as I mentioned, it was so crucial for Triple to engage earlier here, not just to pick up the army, but just to delay the push. Delay the push, buy time for extra warp ins. I just have time to get more shield batteries, get extra zealots, anything and everything. And with that, AqueroN, he has done it. Again, Liberator going ham at the natural. Gateways are falling in the main. We have three zealots. Let's go. We got three zealots and a dream. Let's go, Babylon. As the A moves in, he will lose the final zealots, and that's the army. I mean, we see another warp in here of one AqueroN. Again, should not complete. We got the energy overcharge on the shield battery. GG gets called, and AqueroN, he will take game number 1. GG. Ooh, again, a solid start here for AqueroN. When it came to game 1, though, I say solid start in the series, but Triple, he had the stronger start. He was able to cripple AqueroN. He was able to shut him down. Triple was even feeling confident enough to get a 4th base. But as we were mentioning, AqueroN, he went for a 2-base all-in. He was forced into a 2-base all-in. He did commit, and of course, across the map. But alas, Triple, he was, I would say, a little bit too comfortable, a little bit overconfident maybe in his in the aftermath of that. As we saw, Triple, he was just staying back at home, was getting a 4th base, only 1 shield battery at his 3rd as well, and he would, despite seeing the move out as well, didn't do anything about it. He stayed back at home. He was a little more passive, and in that passivity, AqueroN took advantage. GG. GG, well played. With that, AqueroN takes the lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if AqueroN can close it out here and now, or if Triple can bounce back. Based on how game 1 played out, I believe we can force the ace match. We can go all the way to game 3. We can have that back and forth, but the pressure is on. The pressure is now on Triple. Let's go, as game 2 is going to be on ley lines. Here we go. we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have the green Terran player. We have the Spanish Terran leading the series 1-0. It is AqueroN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss player. The yellow Protoss himself down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is a triple. Go. Go as we're settling into that second game. And again, triple, he worked wonders when it came to his 4-gate blink. AqueroN, he was woefully underprepared. Remember, he had 2 tanks on the low ground. He had 2 tanks, he had his army, he had his bunker as well. He was way too fixated on his defense at the natural, which is why the main base was so exposed, and that's why the 4-gate blink got so much damage. He was able to kill the starport, get 22 SCV kills, and even trade against the Bio army as well. Trade efficiently. So we'll see if AqueroN can tighten up his defense. We'll see if he can get a scout of what's going on as well to get confirmation as to how many gateways there are. And likewise, we'll see if Triple can also tighten up his mid game. We'll see if he can tighten up his mid game. I'm sure he was able to do a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, he didn't quite capitalize on that. Or I say capitalize on that. He didn't really make anything with that in the aftermath. He didn't really respect the potential of a 2-base all-in. Yeah, you gotta respect it, man. Aye. You can be up 2 bases, you can be up in economy, you can be up in army, but it may not matter in the end. Not if you're not able to slow down the Terran army. Now, we're calming down. We have our economic opener here by AqueroN going for the Rax expand. A CC on the high ground, so a bit of a safer start here from our Terran. A little bit safer. Oh, siema, papi, siema. Good to see you. Dzień dobry, dzień dobry. I'm sure we'll be able to cover some of the Polish players a little bit later on. I say that, I believe Geralt is in the brackets. We'll be going over the bracket after this. We'll get there, Now AqueroN poking in, pulls away. We will soon have our tech of choice. Well, we're getting there. Oh, hello. That's a little bit different. So that is a Robo, not a Stargate or a Twilight Council. A little bit old school Robo opener here out of our Protoss player. Now, this could be a couple different things. A Robo opener is typically very safe. As it allows you to get early immortal production against something like a 2-base all-in, so you can build up your immortal count early on. It also allows you to get into fast Colossus, as you can go for a fast Robo into a Bay into fast Colossus production. This used to be a lot more meta back in 2021, 2022 era of StarCraft, back when it was a lot more common to have these more intense bio pushes, 3-rack stim timing specifically. We would often see Robo openers to counter that. But again, that was quite a number of years ago. Likewise, we can also use this as a bit of a stepping stone to go for a Prism, to go for a Depth but now there it is, we're going straight Colossus. Now, I'm assuming Colossus, technically we could go into like a Disruptor drop, which would be crazy, so that, again, should be Colossus here from our Protoss. Again, a build that we rarely see. When I say rarely, we almost never see nowadays from our pro players. The downside, of course, of going for this kind of opener is that you're lacking map control. Something like a Twilight Council opener allows you to get Blink Stalkers, and hey, with your Blink Stalkers, you're able to poke in, able to rotate back and forth, threaten the 2 bases, and shut down drop play. Something similar with a Phoenix opener. Stargate into Phoenix, my shot goes off, but Stargate into Phoenix also allows you to gain map control and shut down drops, and to hunt them down to shut down Banshee play as well. Here, going for a Robo opener, you don't really have any of that map control. You don't really have a flexible army. That's the downside. That's why we say that this kind of way of opening and playing is very safe, because you're foregoing map control entirely. You're foregoing the map, you're staying back home and turtling up. Against this kind of style, as a Terran player, you can be very greedy and just get a faster 3rd CC. Ooh, AqueroN, he is blindly getting ready for 4-gate blink. He has not seen the... he saw the tech though. He saw the Robo, but maybe he didn't click on it. So again, you can see AqueroN, he's a little bit traumatized after game 1. He's got a bunker on low ground, bunker on the high ground, tank on the low ground, tank on the high ground. He is set up for blink defense, but there is no blink, right? There are no blink stalkers. So AqueroN, he saw the rover earlier. Looks like he didn't click on it. Maybe he just assumed it was going to be a Twilight Council. So AqueroN getting ready for something that isn't coming his way. And as you mentioned, he could have tried to have been a little bit more greedy here as a response, or even tried to be more aggressive even as well, and to go for drop play. As we mentioned, right now this army isn't really ideal when it comes to defending against drop play and keeping up with that more mobile composition. So for the time being, it feels like AqueroN's playing blind. There's a salvage. Now we get the 3rd CC. SCV Scout does confirm the 3rd base as well. And there we go, he does spot the Colossus. Unless he believes it's hallucination, then he should now be aware, it was a rover opener, not a Twilight Council. Now I understand what's going on. So AqueroN now he has a little bit more of an idea of his opponent's opener and his opponent's build. Now, I would suggest not going for a frontal push. We spoke about how this is defensive. I mean, hey, there's already one, soon to be 2 Colossus, an Immortal, Force Fields, all these sentries. Going head-on with a Biotank army into this, it's not going to work well here. Which is why we mentioned earlier that typically you want to be expanding. You want to be expanding, you want to be getting a faster 3rd base, gaining a greater economy, and building up into the mid-game. Typically. I say typically because if AqueroN had gone for like a Banshee opener, you can see how much a hard time this can have defending against that. I mean, Stalkers can be left in each mineral line, of course, but it can be quite awkward. Drops are moving in. We have a safety shield battery in the main base. We have a shield battery here at the natural, and the army is at the 3rd also with a shield battery. So again, triple basically just turtling up. Double jump into the main. Triple he's in position. Get a shout to the spotter pylon. And AqueroN, yeah, he cannot fight this head on, as he'll bleed out a lot of his drop. Moving out with another double drop as well. And I'm concerned about AqueroN losing too much supply. If he throws away too many Marines and Marauders, and if he throws away too much supply here, then Triple's going to push. He's going to A-move. And boy, is he going to A-move. Like, there will not be much to stop it if AqueroN loses too much. So we got to be careful here, Pappy. We got to be careful. Again, we're getting a 2nd robo now. We're going to be supplementing the army with now Immortals. We already have 3 Colossus. Behind this, we have a 2nd Starport on the way, going into double Starport and massive Viking production. This will help, but it will take a little bit for this to really come online. So getting into massive Viking. Ideally, you want to go into Ghost with EMPs, so EMPs can also help support against this sort of thing. Safe means less map control. Yes, in the sense that because this, I mean, as you've seen, Triple, he has not moved out at all this game. Like, he has been just being hyper defensive and just turtling up back at home. He has not applied any pressure to his opponent. And because he hasn't applied any pressure, this is why, like, because your opponent's being so safe and so defensive, you can take advantage of that as the opposing player to mass expand, to get faster expansions, to get a greater economy, and as a result, build up a faster, larger army as well. That's something that you can do as a response to this. As AqueroN's trying to be active himself. Active to have Triple now starting to move out. Triple, he's about to max, and once he maxes again, it's going to be a pretty terrifying force. Now, thankfully for AqueroN, there's no disruptors. I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't supplemented this army with a couple of disruptors as well, with some novas. So there's a little bit less complexity to this army, but it's a beefy army, Pappy. And here he comes. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see AqueroN. He's actually further back at his natural. Is not quite in position. Yeah, AqueroN's not in position. The army does get up the ramp. AqueroN now he responds. That's a lot of Vikings. Vikings are moving in. What about the ground army, though? As the first Colossus goes down, Colossus are wasting DPS here on the buildings. Zealots charge in. Archon's going to be going down. AqueroN trying to make a stand. Every Colossus falls, and now the Vikings, they land. They land, but there are still so many Immortals. And the Immortals, they go to town. They go to town. They annihilate the Vikings. And Triple E's done it. Triple E has done it. The Massive Immortal just waddling in. It's not about the Colossus, not anymore. It's about the Immortals. And again, unfortunately, AqueroN, he overmade Vikings. The Vikings, hey, they did their job. They killed the Colossus, but... Oh, as AqueroN does hold. Does hold, does survive. And does save his third CC, thankfully. Saves the third base. But behind this, we do have still the higher base count here for our Protoss player. Now, thankfully for AqueroN, the gas count is a little bit lower here, so it's still only on 4 gases. So trying to restructure this army, trying to rebuild, it's going to take a little bit longer. We do see only 58 probes here for Triple, so his probe count is quite low. So his economy isn't where it should be, but despite that, he may still just have too much anyway. Oh, let's go! Oh, went into Mass Liberators. Okay, this works. Remember, there's no blink. Remember that. Oh, sorry, there is blink, but there's there are no major Stalker production here. So Liberators will defend, they will hold. Blink is done, but we're not making any Stalkers yet. We're reinforcing with more Zealots, and this is because there's no gas. We spoke about it, right? There's no gas. There's no gas here at the third base. Gas just now being taken to the fourth. So gas income is very limited. So we're stuck making Zealots, which means, hey, Liberation, we can pop off. We have the freedom back. We defend. So AqueroN, he will defend, but my concern here are the expansions. As Triple, he's just taking more bases, taking more expansions. If he does get back into probe production, he should be able to enjoy a greater economy. Now he has the high yield gas geyser, that will help. Still a very high immortal count, Jesus. As AqueroN's trying to stabilize. Now Triple's pushing. He's got his prism, he can reinforce. We're still lacking a couple of Stalkers. I would like to see more here just because the Mass Liberator could be an issue. Thankfully, 2 of them are in the... there we go. Liberators do reposition. There are 6 Stalkers, and they're moving in. Archons, if they get close enough, that'll also help. Speaking of, there goes does that forward. We get some okay EMPs. Liberators are going to be going down. The boys are being pulled. Vikings, they shut down the Colossus, and we do break through the Immortals. The Liberators, they stand strong. Yeah, they do stand strong. A nice defense here by AqueroN. He shuts down the army. And Triple, he lost too much this time. This time he lost too much. Previously, he preserved his Immortals. Not this time. That was how many? That was 8 Immortals going down. Ay, ay, ay. And again, Triple, he's broke. When I say he's broke, he doesn't have a bank. He has bases, but his probe count is very low. And again, didn't take extra gases either, so trying to rebuild that high-tech army, it's going to take a long time. Oh, we just pulled the boys. Let's go. AqueroN, he just pulls the boys. The boys are being pulled. He's moving in. And Triple, he has nothing. He has nothing to defend. He's got 1 Colossus. He's got a couple of gateway units. There's still plenty of Vikings in the sky. We still got the boys to buffer. 3 Colossus, down to 2. Down to 2, soon to be down to 1, soon to be down to 0. Yeah, the Vikings, they just go to town. They catch all the Colossus. Vikings land. Now we get the Stalkers, but too little too late. And AqueroN, he has done it. Again, not bad. Earlier, when it came to the first push, things looking over. Like, once again, I was favoring Triple in the first half. You know, he got us in the first half, that. But what really hurt Triple here was his lack of economy, his lack of workers. He didn't have to push into a 3-basing Terran, not when he had 5. there was no need to push in. He got too excited, Pat. He got too excited. And now we're going for the kill. There's 1 base mining. The base gets found. AqueroN, he stems in. And we're down to 1 Archon and 1 Zealot. Let's go. Triple, he has somewhat of a standing army. He's got 2 units. Believe, happy believe. Oh, 3 units. Okay, back down to 2. And GG. GG gets called. As AqueroN, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to AqueroN as it does claim the series. And again, a triple here. Unfortunately, even though I wouldn't say he had a much stronger initial engagement, much stronger initial fight. Referring to the moment where he broke the third. He broke the third base, didn't kill it, but did kill the SCVs. It did break the army behind it. He was not making workers though. He was at 56 probes. That is crazy, by the way, to be stuck with 56 workers. So again, he didn't have the. See, he was in a way kind of forcing himself all in. He didn't need to be all in such a manner. Likewise, there was no need to attack with that second wave either. Remember, he was getting up to 5 bases. There was no need for the Protoss player to push into a 3-basing Terran and try to force the issue, especially with a lack of anti-air. I'm referring to the moments when he fought into those 4 Liberators, and he did not kill the Liberators, by the way. They just went to town, and again, Triple just had to calm down, back off, build up, focus on his economy, focus on his macro, and would have just maintained and sustained his lead from there. But GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to AqueroN, does claim the series. And with that, let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Meanwhile, big shout out to Luis in the chat. Luis GGG. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, papi. Gracias. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And bienvenidos. Quite fitting, actually, because we are casting a player from Spain. True.